Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing great. So, this is the second session of our Power Automate scenario based series. In our first session, we talked about basic informations on Power Automate, like the what is Power Automate, what are the benefits of Power Automate, and a scenario based solution wherein how you can download an attachment from an email and store it into a SharePoint or a OneDrive. So the entire video was focused on OneDrive, but in the last I've explained you how you can store the files in the SharePoint as well. Okay. If you haven't gone through the first session, please do go through it. If you click on the top right corner I button, it would give you the link to the session. Now, before we dive in, if you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. Your support really helps me to grow and motivates me to bring more valuable contents like this. Okay. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like and share it with others. Now, let's get started with our today's session on scenario based problem statement, which is basically how to read an email and how to extract the ID from the email subject and store it into a Excel file. Now, if time permits, I will complete the entire thing in one session itself. If not, I'll cut this into a two-part of the series. One is the extracting the email ID from the email subject, and then another part would be storing the email ID which we have extracted into a Excel file. Okay. The only reason is that my intention is to make sure that the video is not too long, and it's near around 15 to 20 minutes, so that people don't get more say bored on these. That's why I usually make sure that to have it in between those ranges. Okay. Now let's get started. So I'm already in a Power Automate Cloud Flows. If you see, if you don't have the account of Power Automate, if you don't know if you are first to this particular series, so in the first video, wherein I have already explained how you can navigate to Power Automate. So just to give you a high level picture, so search it in the Google or Edge about Power Automate. The first URL, click on it. If you don't have the account, have an account, then you will end up in a home page which probably will ask you to select the region, select whatever the region that you are in, and done. You have your platform set up. Now you have these many tabs in your left side. Click on My Flow. Now, once you click on My Flow, you will end up with this particular screen, the one that you are currently seeing. Now you have three things in here: Cloud Flow, Desktop Flow, and Shared with Me. We are just focusing on Cloud Flow for now. Now you have when you click on the new flow, whenever we are trying to create new scenario based, it would probably a new flow that I'll create. That way, even I have a track of all these things that are stored in my Power Automate platform. That way, I can also go back, because every time, whenever we try to learn something new, right, we tend to forget the syntax or how it was done at all after a long time. So having them stored in one particular workspaces for me, it helps a lot. So that's why I'll try to create all of them in a different flows. Now, what this problem statement is that, again, I'll define the problem statement. Extract the ID from email subject and store it in an Excel file. Okay. So extract ID and store uh, in Excel. Okay. That's my problem statement. Now, this is the manual trigger. So I have clicked on manual trigger. Now, let's do the search for Outlook. This is the Outlook. So before I go in, let me do search again. like I mentioned in my previous session, we have Office 365 Outlook, Outlook.com. This is for personalized. This is for business. Now, if you're using business account, I recommend you to use this, not this. Uh, it would be this has more other features also which you can explore over there. But as of now, since I don't have business and I have very limited options, uh, where because I didn't opt for premium subscription, so I have very little options. So I'm gonna go with whichever is available for me right now. Okay. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is get okay get mail version 2. So this is what I'm gonna pick. Now this is the in folder. So let me go through my inbox. This is my email. This is my sample email. I have sent it for myself. Ticket raised, customer ID, and this is the ID that I need to extract from this. Okay. Now let me go back. Sorry, let me go back to the inbox. Um, so if you have any restrictions, you can provide this to, from, etc., so that you can make the Power Automate solution more dynamic in nature, where it will only extract those emails that is needed, that you want it to be extracted. Okay. Now it doesn't have attachments. If you have attachments to it, you can mention, or you can also keep it blank. For now, I don't have any attachments. I'm gonna keep it as is. Uh, yeah, if this is unread emails, yeah, let's make sure that unread emails. And then top count, I can keep it as 10 or 1. It doesn't matter, but the maximum limit is 25. Now I have the email subject, right? So now what we need to do is that for each, this for each is usually in all the coding languages, but here it's a bit differ. Apply to each is what we need to look for. Now in here, I need to search the value. Okay. Now I got the value. Now what I need to do, let's do a compose. Before we do anything, let's do a compose and see if I can print the subject. Okay. Just that's all I need to see. If I can print the subject from the email. Basically, I'm trying to check two things in here. One is whether I'm able to connect to my email, and whether I'm able to read the email and get its subjects printed in the Power Automate. So let's test it out. So my flow ran already. Let's see. Yes. You see here, it did read the mail, and then this is the subject that it captured. Now I got the subject. So what I'll do is that let's do one thing. Let's delete this off. We don't need it anymore. Let's take an assign. Before even taking an assign, one thing you need to know is that no, before you use any, you need to create any variables or anything such. You have to create it at the start of the project or start of the flow. If you try to create it inside any flows, basically loops, such as apply to each or do until, then you will end up having an error saying that you cannot have it in whatever the initialization, those should be done at the beginning of the flow. Okay. So I have taken the initialization variable. Let's say that subject. So this is my variable, and this variable, this is my variable of type string. And I don't have to give, it's a random, uh, I mean, it doesn't have anything, blank data. So subject variable. Now I need to have one more variable to store the data, right? So to do that, again, I need to get the one more initialization variable. So let's search for init and initialization. Now ID is what I need. So I'll keep it in string itself. That's okay. That doesn't matter. And I'll keep it as blank. Okay. Now rename this into ID. Oops, ID. Now we are done. We have initialized the variable. We have captured read the email, and we are going to loop through each email. Now in here, let's do one thing. That is assign. So not, we don't have assign. Sorry, my bad. UiPath is coming, right into my mind. So, instead of assign, we need to have set variable. Okay, the set variable acts similar to assign in the UiPath. Okay, subject. So for subject, it is nothing but subject. Where is that subject? Yeah, here. Okay. Now we set variable subject. Done. Now I have the subject. Let's do the compose. Okay. In the compose, this is the expression, right? So split. What is the variable? Which is subject. Subject. Oh my bad. Split. As you see, let me go back to the email. As you see, okay, this is the ID. So customer ID is my key here. So split, click on the, so that, okay, let me explain this to you. You probably don't know about it. So dynamic content is that these are the variables. That means, for example, you get email attachments, what and all fields that can be extracted from it that you can see over here. You need to select from these that gets directly added over here. For example, if I select subjects, it directly gets added over here, right? So expression is something wherein you can add a function based statements. Like for example, string function, you have string functions like concat. Concat, it's a similar concept. Concat, what it does, it combines the two any numbers of the strings together, right? So you also see its descriptions as you scroll through each of them. You have all kind of functions that are available. Now, for me, as I mentioned, split is a function. Now for split, why I have used split is that in here you see customer ID is there. The problem statement is to extract the ID from the email subject. Now key is the customer ID for me here. So I'm gonna copy this customer ID, but before copying this customer ID, I need to split the variable. So here, this is how we define the variable in the Power Automate. Variables is a keyword. Okay, it's a function word, a function. Okay, and subject is the subject. This one in the init, you see subject is there. No, that is what the subject represents. Again, let me write split open bracket. The close bracket automatically populated. Now subject. Now I have done similar how it is done in VBA, how it is done in UiPath, C Sharp, for any coding languages. Split needs to have two things. One is the input data, and what needs to be split string that separates, that is required to act as a separator. Okay. Now, for me, the separator is customer ID colon, or either colon. I can also consider colon as my separator instead of customer ID. Anything works. Okay. I just considered as customer ID. Now, this split input data and its separator, this entire thing gives me data in a format or a data type of array. But if we keep it in array, we end up having an error because this one, though this is a compose, that is okay. But if you try to assign it to anything else, or anything else in the sense, to a string variable, you will end up having an error. So what we were going to do is that, imagine this is your string, you're going to perform a split over here, which means that this part of this entire part would be your zeroth element, and this entire part would be your first element. Okay, that's what you get. So I need first element because the ID is at the first element, right? So for that, you need to have it in a, let me zoom. If I try to zoom in, I'm not sure if okay, it's not getting zoomed in. Anyway, you need to have a square bracket the open and close square bracket, inside it the number, index number 0, 1, 2, 3. So when you split on customer ID, you will have two elements. One is ticket raised minus, this is zeroth element. Another one element is the 98354 minus urgent issue. This is second element. Element 1, element 2. Okay, I need element 1. I mean, in array, you usually start with zeroth index, first index, second index. That means zeroth index is the first element, and then first index would be the second element of the string. Okay. Now I'm done with this. That I got the this information. What is it? 98. This one. So let me do one thing. Instead of going fast, let me save this. Let me show you the result. Then I'll go for the next steps. Let's run this thing. Wait a minute. It won't take much time. It's already ran. It shows it's running, but it's already ran. Now see, as I mentioned, I got the first index. Now, if you observe closely over here, let's see if I can zoom in. If you see, there is an extra space over here, right? So we don't want that. So how do we eradicate this thing? Now, to do that, I need to do one more thing. As the entire thing, Control A, Control X. Now do trim. Trim is where you can eliminate your left spaces, right spaces. Okay, both of them you can eliminate it. So I have done trim. Now, if I just save this and run it again, I should no longer see the extra spaces at all. In the sense, the beginning and ending, it shouldn't have any extra spaces. Let's see. If you see here, I don't have any extra spaces, right? So now we are good. Now again, there is one more issue. We want only the number. We see so much other characters are present. So what we can do, again, we can use this as a key and split them again. So to do that, I'll go back to this entire string. I'll again Control A, Control X. Again, do the split. Split whatever we have done so far, comma. Now minus. Sorry, it's not double quote, it's single quote. Inside single quote, minus. Now, once you're done with this, you need to again mention the index. Now, let me go back to the email. So this is my email, right? So forget about this. Only focus on this thing. Now, if I do the split on this, this means this is the zeroth index. This is the first index. Always remember, whatever you do the split on a variable or on a special character or a string, substring, always remember that your left side is the zeroth and the right side starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the arrays. Okay, just for simple understanding. Now this will be a zero. Again, I may end up having a spaces, extra spaces, right? For the safer side, it's always best practices to have trim added on whenever you perform a data manipulations. Now I'm good. So now what I should get is only the number I should get. Okay, let's see. Now let's see the compose. There you go. We got the number, right? So this is one way of doing it. Now there is another way of doing it. This is the part or this thing, entire thing is used when you don't have the premium version, right? But when you have a premium version, no, it's very easy. You can use regex. There is regex or match Probably I'm not able to find it here because I do my version. If you see here in the latest version, whichever the platform you use, you have a options of what do we say, the uh, switching between the modern and classic. So this is very old version. I'm not sure if it is here, but anyway, you can do it through regex that is available, but it's a premium version. So if you have a premium version, go for it. It's very easy. You don't have to do all these things. The for each loop, I mean, for each loop you need, but you don't have to do all this conversion that I'm doing because with the regex, it's very basically the regex is very useful when you don't know what is the constraint, like whether each email will have this customer ID in it. What if the email doesn't have the customer ID, right? So sometimes on those sites, such kind of scenario, go with the regex. Okay. Now I'm done with that. Here what we can do is that Excel, as I mentioned, I need to have a Excel, I mean, upload it in an Excel, right? Again, you end up having Excel business, Excel OneDrive. This is for business, this is for personal. So I'm going to use with Excel this one. So now what we are going to do, we have the customer ID, right? Now the next step is to upload this particular customer ID that we got into an Excel file. Let's store it in an Excel file. Now, to do that, we have to create a Excel file in a shared OneDrive location. So let's do that. So I have navigated to OneDrive and let me create a file, Excel file. Let's give it as date and then customer ID. Okay, so the date is to help me identify that, okay, if I run it today, this is the date and this is the customer ID that has been added. Now insert table. So remember one thing, in Excel, whenever you try to do anything with the Excel workbook, it always has to be a table, okay, to interact with the Power Automate. So now here we need to have two things from Excel. What are those is, let's open an Excel. So before this, let me just do one more search again, click on Excel. Got it. So you have Excel online business, Excel online OneDrive. So this is for personal, this is for business. Now I only have the access for personal, so I'm going to use it. In here, Excel online, you have to look for, first you need to add a row, right? We have the Excel file created manually. Now let's add a row. To add a row, we need to navigate to the path. This is my path and this is the Excel file. Now the title is, or table name would be table 1. Okay. Now I have added a row. Now here the date, right? So let me add manually, let me add a date today, not today, let's add a future date. Say 20th 05 2025. It's a DMFYYY format. Okay. Customer ID, I'm just gonna give blank number. This is default value or random value. I have added a row. Again, let's search for Excel online. Now update the row. Again, I need to navigate to the path, Power Automate. All my Power Automate scripts are or details are in Power Automate folder. This one, and select the workbook, select the table. Now key column. Now my key column, or we need to provide a unique thing so that the Excel, this Power Automate can understand that, okay, this is where I need to update. So my unique ID here is the date. So I'll provide the value, whatever I have given here, I'll just give the same thing here. Okay. And the customer ID, the output of what we did with the compose. That's all we need to do. We save this and let's run this. Okay, this is running right now. Oh, it ran. It ran. Now let's see. Let's open this file. You see our customer ID and the date has been printed. Now, what we have learned so far, we have learned how to read an email and how to perform a initialization of a variable and how to set a variable, how to perform data manipulation of a string variable, and how to uh, up- add a row into an Excel file, how to update a row into in a Excel file. Right? This is what we have learned so far. Now, there is one more thing that I wanted to talk about as the in here itself. This is a since I only have one email, that's why I just random the random date I have added over here. Instead of this, you can make it more dynamic by adding date time parameter, the parameters which is available in the Power Automate string. So it can consider the system date and time. Now, about this date parameter and everything, that I'll explain this in our next series. That way, you will have a flow in your understanding the flow Power Automate use cases, scenario based use cases. Okay. So that's all for today. I hope this particular session is very useful for you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe to it and give a thumbs up, share it with your friends and colleagues, and let us all learn and uh, grow our skills, technical skills and etc. Right? So have a great day, have a wonderful evening, or have a wonderful night, and I'll see you in the next video. Yeah. Thanks. Bye.